Hey everyone, Shabby here, and welcome back to our next episode of SWE Throwdown. Some big things happened last week. It'll be interesting to see tonight exactly from Long Beach, California, how those things develop, leading towards our next pay-per-view. And here is our opening match of the evening. It's going to be a bit of a lead-on from last week. Of course, we saw Bray Wyatt demanded to be given a bit more respect around Throwdown, and then went out there and proved himself when he won a fatal four-way tables match against The Undertaker, as well as Sting and Baron Corbin. This evening, Bray Wyatt gets an opportunity here to show what he can do one-on-one against the Phenom himself. And we've also picked two people that have possibly got some of the longest entrances in the game. That's the way we always work, isn't it? So, The Undertaker, a man who came, of course, from Mayhem in the Shabby shake-up, a man who had an opportunity at Shabby Mania to get that #1 contendership for the Mayhem Championship. Unfortunately for him, Brock Lesnar was just a little bit further ahead of him. And here he is now trying to force his way in Throwdown. Of course, it wasn't the best debut for him last week, losing that match to Bray Wyatt, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get some retribution here this evening. Of course, a Fatal 4-Way is a bit of a dodgy match as it is, because you've got to keep an eye over your shoulder. You've always got the other guys in the match, and it's a very tricky one to win. Very tricky. However, one-on-one, you're in full control then. And it'd be interesting to see whether Bray Wyatt has the same... I'm not going to say luck. Whether Bray Wyatt has the same... I don't know what the phrase is. It's not... I want to say luck, but I know it's really not luck. I've lost it. I've lost it. Good fortune. It's probably the same as luck, isn't it? I'm just going to go with that. The same good fortune he had last week. It's going to be a tricky one for him. Undertaker is a very highly rated guy in this game. And I've been having some discussions with PJ Toby recently as well, and we've got some big plans for after the next pay-per-view, which will be at the end of this month, I believe, or beginning of next month. Beginning of June will be our very first pay-per-view. We've got some big plans lined up, so you're not going to miss what we've got planned, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers at this point in time. But whatever's going to happen, it is going to shake SWE to its very core. There, the Fireflies. And here comes the leader of the most dominant faction for quite some... I don't know. They had the potential to be one of the most dominant factions, but they never really gave Bray Wyatt the run until, obviously, Bray Wyatt and the family had sort of parted ways. Luke Harper was there, of course, but it was just tricky. I suppose Bray Wyatt did win the championship while he was still with Luke Harper and... no, he didn't, did he? Had Luke Harper left Bray Wyatt before he won the championship? I think he had, actually, yeah. So it was Wyatt and Orton still together, and then obviously Orton turned on Wyatt. If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't beat them, join them, then screw them later on. Was that his phrase? I think so. Bray Wyatt blows out the torch. And here we go. It is time. It is time for one-on-one here on Throwdown. What a couple of cracking weeks we've had for you. Last week we opened the show with Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. This week we're opening the show here with The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. And you can hear my excitement straight away. I'm just swallowing air. Whew. Oh, God. I don't know what happened there. I just started coughing for no reason. So Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker here this evening. What else have we got planned? We've got for you in the main event here this evening, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cody Rhodes. And we probably will see a few members of Bullet Club at ringside, of course. We've also got The Rock later on this evening taking on Seth Rollins in a Falls Count Anywhere match. What else have we got for you? We have... Oh, we've got champion versus champion. Zack Sabre Jr., the Throwdown champion, takes on Austin Aries, the current United States champion. That'd be a good match. Remember, Zack Sabre Jr. is due to face off against Kazuchika Okada at our next pay-per-view for the Throwdown Championship. And I like that. I'm a fan of Okada. I think we need to give him these opportunities. And I say give him the opportunity. He's earned the opportunity. He defeated Tanahashi at Shabby Mania to gain this chance. And I think Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be a cracking match. Bray Wyatt now knocking the Undertaker to the ground. Of course, Undertaker, not a young man anymore. Those clashes to the ground really do cause him some damage. Of course, he didn't do very much at the Royal Rumble and ended up with a very sore hip for about a month. So it just shows the sort of situation that he's in now. Oh, great. So I'm just reading, I'm recording this a few days in advance. I'm just reading in the corner of my eye here, Twitter's just popped up and said that Emma has injured her shoulder during a match in the UK tour. That's a shame. She's literally only just come back. And I think she's been doing quite well because of her heel persona. Tell you something as well, I absolutely love Chris Jericho's new song. As the Undertaker gets a hold of Bray Wyatt, there's a chokeslam. Undertaker showing Bray Wyatt here who's boss. Bray Wyatt may have got the victory last week, but Bray does kick out of the chokeslam. Wow. But Taker is lining up Bray Wyatt once again. Hoists him up, looking potentially for the big tombstone power driver. Hits it perfectly. Middle of the ring. There's the pin. Referee down to count. 1, 2, and no, again, Bray Wyatt kicking out. Wow. Bray Wyatt showed some incredible resilience here. Uppercut on Taker. Hooks him in, looking for what looked like as a butterfly DDT, but Taker fighting through those strikes. That's what he's good at. Undertaker hoisting Bray Wyatt up. Big vertical suplex. Held him up there. Let him think about that for a few seconds. The blood rushing to the head of Bray Wyatt. Clever maneuver, because when you lift somebody up like that, the blood rushes, of course, from the legs to their head. And when you put them back down, the less blood in your legs means that they can become very jelly-like, and it's very difficult to use them. So that's why they do hold people up like that for a split second. But Taker, my God, is hammering Bray Wyatt here. Once again, catching him by the throat. There is the chokeslam. He's not even going to go for the pin, though. Ooh, Bray Wyatt fighting back. How is Bray fighting back? He's been caught with 2 chokeslams and a tombstone. Bray front chancery now. Elbow to the head. Went for a cutter. Taker throws him away. Bray Wyatt again now bringing Undertaker middle of the ring. Looking for a T-bone. T-bone power slam. And now big back senton by Bray Wyatt as well. Oh, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is lining up the Undertaker. Crazy crab walk. Crazy crab walk. I think in the whole game, I think for me, Bray Wyatt's taunt into finisher maneuver is my favourite. And there it is, Sister Abigail straight into the pin. There it is. 1, 2. Oh my God, Taker's kicked out of that as well. Taker's kicked out of the Sister Abigail. I was literally just about to say, we've got to get this belt around the waist of Bray Wyatt at some point in time. This would be a massive win for Bray. After getting that Fatal 4-Way victory last week, getting a victory here over Taker could be incredible, but Taker now lining up. Bray Wyatt once again hoists him up. Tombstone pile driver. Hooks the arms. No. Referee. See, this is what frustrates me when that happens. See what the referee did there? As he slid down to do the pinfall, he actually pushed the pin ever so slightly into the ropes, which caused the rope break. And Bray Wyatt just getting the 2 count Undertaker as well. Don't know what that was. Sorry, my phone's too close to the microphone, then I just popped up the message. Arm breaker there by the Undertaker. And once again takes Bray Wyatt up, this time into a backbreaker. Taker now just stamping on the face of Bray Wyatt. Back up to a standing base, but Bray was waiting for it. Hoisting Taker over the top. What a cracking opening match this has been to Throwdown. There's the pin by Bray Wyatt. 1, 2, only a 1 count. Wow. Taker. Only a 1 count. Bray Wyatt now stamping on the back of the head. What is Bray going to go for? Bray's going up top. We don't often see Bray Wyatt up on the top rope. What's he got going here? Big splash on the Undertaker. Having to change up his arsenal a little bit. What he normally goes for doesn't seem to have worked. The Uranagi style slam. Bray now bringing Taker back up, but Taker fighting back with that big clothesline. And these two guys, nothing seems to be able to get between them. They've been fantastic here. Oh, wrenching at the neck and Taker slamming Bray Wyatt down. Now Taker once again lining up Bray Wyatt. Hopefully this time the referee's not going to bugger it up. Taker needs to rotate and hit this either way. He hits it there, which is going to be a rope break, is it? Yep. It's just... I'm sure at the beginning when they first released this game, they weren't doing that. I'm sure they were moving their finishers to the middle of the ring, and it was working really, really well, but I don't know what's happened since then. Now, Bray Wyatt's finisher is perfect, because the way it all works, I'm pretty sure that everyone ends up in the middle of the ring, or do they? We're about to find out here. Is Bray Wyatt lining up the Undertaker for potentially a second Sister Abigail. Locks him in. There it is, Sister Abigail. Is it rope break? Referee pushed the pin towards the ropes. And again, he's kicked out. What is happening with this game, I tell you? Again, I'll stress that finisher strength is on the strongest it possibly can be. But after 3 choke slams, 2 tombstone power drivers and 2 Sister Abigails, we are still without a victor in this match. Rankings-wise, this is really going to help one of these two guys. That huge knee to the face of Bray Wyatt. Taker bringing Bray back up to his feet. And yeah, Taker has busted Bray open as well. Taker's been busted open. There's another choke slam. And I get Taker's not even going to go for the pin. I knew that was going to happen. I don't understand. I think I've said this before. I think that the reversal rate should be much lower after a finisher or a signature maneuver. I don't think it makes sense for people to be hitting a reversal straight after a big move like that. Backbreaker by Taker. 1, 2. Almost a 3 count. It's ironic, isn't it? The closest I've had to a 3 count so far wasn't even a finisher maneuver. Taker stamping on the gut of Bray Wyatt. Double axe handle to the back. Taker now struggling. You can see the match has gone on for quite some time. At his age, you think he's struggling for energy now. That's the one thing that Bray Wyatt really has over the Undertaker here is his age. That's going to be rope break again, isn't it? I'm going to have to take the tombstone off him, you know. Oh, referee, stop pushing the bloody pin! Oh, if I could meet the guys that make this game, I would literally just punch them all in the face. Such a frustrating game, this one. It really is. Yeah, I think that sort of worked. Back senton by Bray Wyatt. Stomping on the gut once again. Bringing Taker back up, but Taker's there with the right hand to the gut. Front chancery. Bray tripping Taker over. And surely this time, is Bray Wyatt going to get that victory that he so desires over the Undertaker? Locks him in. Sister Abigail. Hooks the leg, surely this time. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Bray Wyatt does back up that massive Fatal 4 victory last week with a massive victory here with The Undertaker as well. I'm highly impressed with that, actually, by Bray Wyatt. Very, very impressed with Bray Wyatt there. Oh, what's this, Bray? Bray not leaving the ring. Oh, Bray's going back, and Bray is attacking the Undertaker now. Insult to injury here. He's already defeated the Undertaker, now just stamping on his fallen foe. Great win there for Bray Wyatt, though. Very good. And what do we have here? We understand we're going to... We're heading backstage here for a second. Quite sure what's going on. The screen's completely black. We seem to have lost the cameraman somewhere. Have we got anything? We've cut back and it's Braun Strowman and the Big Show fighting backstage. Of course, we saw these two guys collide in the ring last week. Braun Strowman actually winning that match by, well, it was classed as by submission, but I'm not entirely sure the Big Show actually tapped out. I think the referee actually called the match, but it looks like Big Show was, well, in Braun Strowman's Braun Strowman's words, he's not finished with him yet. Oh my god, the strength of Braun Strowman. Hoisting Big Show up into a gut-wrench suplex. Braun now sending Big Show straight through the locker room door as well. These two guys, when two towers collide, there's going to be some serious damage to the entire arena with these two fighting like this. Big Show there's going to suffer some extreme carpet burn if he's not too careful. Chair shot. I don't understand these chair shots. Big Show reversed the chair shot by rolling through the hit. That makes no sense to me, but there you go. Again, well done, Ukes, for your incredible coding of the game. Braun Strowman now sending Big Show straight into the door. Not sure what Big Show was Strowman was actually going for there, but a gutbuster now. And I will point out that we have slightly changed the moveset of Braun Strowman now. I've gone for a new updated moveset I got off the Community Creations. I've also changed his entrance and everything now, so we should have a non-Wyatt family branded Braun Strowman, which I know what you're thinking. It's taken me long enough. I should have done it a long time ago. But of course, we did draft Braun Strowman as part of the Wyatt family. But just as time's gone on, I've come to like him a lot more. And Braun Strowman is just demolishing the Big Show now outside. Yeah, I've come to like Braun Strowman a lot more, especially his antics over the last couple of months. And I really wanted to use him a bit more effectively. And I think that's what we're doing here, is Braun Strowman now stalking the Big Show, running power slam. Oh! Running power slam by Braun Strowman in the backstage area, taking Big Show down. Wow, the damage has been done there by Braun Strowman. That's 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. He has absolutely brutalized the Big Show. And here we go. I promised it. Champion versus champion. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Austin Aries. And here we go. Throwdown champion versus Throwdown United States champion. Two massive, massive names here on this roster. Two people that PJ Toby was desperate to get a hold of, but I managed to get a hold of them both. And there is Zack with the belt. I'm actually quite proud of that belt, to be honest. I'm not very good at creating championships, but that one I'm quite happy with, to be honest. And the Mayhem Championship I'm pretty happy with as well. I'm happy with most of the belts now. We went for a little state where I did edit most of the belts, didn't I, as time went on, and that was good. I think it was a good little thing for us to do. But, yeah, I'm quite happy with how things have gone with that. I think most of the belts now I'm very happy with. I think a couple of the women's belts I'm not overly sure on. And of course, PJ Toby got his Hardcore Championship he was desperate for, which makes a lot more sense now when you look at the guys that he picked up in the Shabby Shake-Up. You can understand why he picked some of them now. Some of them were a little bit outside the box, like Bam Bam Bigelow and so forth, but now that we know the reason behind the picking, it certainly makes sense for what he was going for. As here comes the man, the myth, the legend himself as well. The world's strongest vegan. Wasn't that one of Daniel Bryan's things at one point? Or was it the world's the world's best vegan or something like that? You know what, I can't wait. I know I keep saying this, but I can't wait for 2K18 to come out. And I know it sounds a bit odd, but I'm just thinking of how great the roster's going to be. The improved gameplay, hopefully. Well, I say gameplay, I don't really play the game, but hopefully the AI will be better as well. It's another year of development, so hopefully they can build upon what they've got. Hopefully Universe Mode will have some more options that we can play around with, but it's mainly just the roster, because so much has happened since the last game was released. We've had the draft, we've had an influx of new people into NXT, we've had the Cruiserweight Classic, we've had the UK tournament as well. So much has happened since the last game was released that the roster coming up for this new game is going to have to be huge, and surely they're going to have to start giving us some sort of information sooner rather than later. I seem to recall the last couple of years the roster reveals have been... Well, I think a couple of years ago the roster reveal was at SummerSlam, and the year before that was SummerSlam Access as well. But last year, of course, they did it over the summer. Was it over the summer, or was it was a bit after the summer when they were doing the Suplex City, like every week on a Tuesday or something like that? They release a picture and you had to guess from who was in the picture who was going to be on the game. And it wouldn't surprise me if this year we get a lot less legends and we just get a lot more current day, because getting people on the game like Noam Dar, Cedric Alexander, Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, of course, as well. Those are the bulk, probably, and probably a few more like Araya Davari. It wouldn't surprise me if WWE specified to 2K and Nukes, look, we want Davari on the game, and we want Jinder Mahal and the Singhs on the game, solely because of trying to penetrate those other markets. And it's a clever way for them to do it. I know they probably will do that as well. And we'll have a few people drop out of the game as well, of course. The likes of Jack Swagger will be gone out of here. And who else has left? Who else has left since the last game was released that's on this game? Del Rio, of course, will be gone. I'm sure there'll be more as well. It wouldn't surprise me if someone like Paige disappears as well. I don't think she will, but it wouldn't surprise me if she did. I honestly don't think we're going to see her in a WWE ring again anyway, to be honest with you. I think with the combination of the injuries she's had, which she's been out for over a year with that injury now, surely, and of course the poor media she's had as well, and some of the stuff she's been up to in the background. I read a story yesterday saying that apparently she had a blazing argument with Del Rio backstage at Impact Wrestling, and it makes you think. The first question is, what is a WWE superstar doing backstage at Impact tapings? That's what always seems to astound me. Obviously she's there because her husband is there, but I can't believe WWE are allowing her to do stuff like this, to be honest with you. WWE have stopped all the UK talent signed up from working for What Culture Pro Wrestling. Then Del Rio goes to What Culture Pro Wrestling, and Paige is pictured in some of the fan photos with Del Rio, and you're like, come on, think about this logically, Paige. You're ostracizing yourself week upon week upon week. I can never understand it, but there you go. Of course, Austin Aries should be on the game from the beginning. I would imagine people like Roderick Strong will definitely be on there. Bobby Roode will definitely be on there. Andrade Cien Almas, No Way Jose, Sanity, Authors of Pain, DIY. There's going to be a massive amount of extra people from NXT being on there. And then you look at the women's division as well. You've got Ember Moon, you've got Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, of course, a part of Sanity. There's the roll-up pin there by Zack Sabre Jr. and Austin Aries, only there for a 2 count. So yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a massive roster. And then it depends what they do with the UK. I can't imagine they'll leave the UK ones off there, because the thing is, the UK Championship is now an official championship on the WWE website. So for 2K and Ukes to leave the UK Championship off the game would be a little bit stupid in my opinion. But at the same time, it would mean they'd have to put at least a few members of the roster on there. So I would imagine we'd at least see, obviously, Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne, I think, are 2 certs. More than likely Trent Seven and Mark Andrews, I think, as well. And then maybe a few of the others. We had... Who else was it? I think Wolfgang was in the country, wasn't it? NXT at the last... and 205 were live recently as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's on there as well, as Austin Aries now lining up Zack Sabre Jr. looking potentially for a rolling elbow. No, it's a big clothesline instead. I thought it goes to the rolling elbow. There's a big elbow though. Aries bringing Zack Sabre Jr. back up to his feet. Zack with a arm drag and a boot to the chest of Aries as well. Zack now taking Aries up. Oh, pile driver. Pile drive by Zack Sabre Jr. bringing Aries back up to his feet once again. Aries fighting back though. There's the shoulder block. And now Aries looking to line up Zack Sabre Jr. The problem is here, if he goes for a brainbuster, he's going to be pretty much close to the ring. Oh, no. No, he's not going to go for the brainbuster. He's going to go for the last chance, or he rolls it through. It's mid of the ring as well. Does Zack have to think about this? We're only 2 or 3 weeks away from our next pay-per-view when he's going to have to defend that belt against Okada. Will he have to tap out here just to live to fight another day? He doesn't want to be taking any injuries in. And at the moment, he's middle of the ring. Obviously, he knows that it's a very difficult submission hold for Aries to keep long term because of the bridge. And Zack is able to fight free. Zack kicking the shin of Austin Aries now, rolling the arm. Clever move here by Zack. We know he likes to utilize the armbar as a finisher maneuver. And by doing extra damage to the arm, it could make it easier for him to get the tap out when he does lock it in. Because, of course, Austin Aries has the same thing to think about. Austin Aries is already booked in to face off against Cody Rhodes for that United States Championship at our next pay-per-view. Of course, with Cody Rhodes defeating Tetsuya Naito at Shabby Mania. Austin Aries, rolling elbow, there it is, middle of the ring as well. Now Aries rolling Zack over. What is he doing here? I don't understand why they do that. They're rolling back and rolling back again, but either way. Now Aries once again looking to line up Zack Sabre Jr. Aries is definitely in control of this match, and again, mid of the ring. Mid of the ring, there it is, last chance. Mid of the ring once again. And like I said, Zack has got to think about this. He has a Okada in a few weeks' time for that championship. And he does tap out. I think that's the wise thing for Zack to do. However, in the champion versus champion match, it is our mid-card champion, Austin Aries, the United States champion, who picks up the victory over our current brand champion. That's huge. That is huge, that is. Big, big win there for Austin Aries. And that's going to give him massive motivation moving forward into that next pay-per-view, like I said, against Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody Rhodes defeating Tetsuya Naito at our last pay-per-view to gain that #1 contendership. But big, big win. And we've still got 2 massive matches for you to come up now. And here we go. What about this for a match? Seth Rollins takes on The Rock in what is going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match. The Rock, of course, made his debut last week. And did he win? I can't remember now. I can't honestly remember if he won or not. Where are we? I'm going to have a quick look. Go and have a quick look, yeah, we've got a lot of videos on this playlist now. We're doing really well, actually. It's been quite a long-running playlist. Whoa. There we go. Sorry, I've managed to put one of my own videos on there while I was actually recording. You've got me talking in the background. Yeah, The Rock did beat Hulk Hogan last week. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Ooh, Squad Builder Showdown's on as well. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. I've not watched that yet. Have I not watched that? I must have watched that. Sorry, I'm getting confused myself now, right. There you go. So Seth Rollins in the ring. You know what? I'd love to do like alternative attires, but the problem is, I know I think there used to be a glitch on last year's game, weren't there? But on this year's game, I don't believe the glitch is there anymore. Where you used to be able to give an alternative attire to a wrestler without using up a core slot. And the problem is that this year you haven't got that. So I could have new attires, like I could get the new version of Braun Strowman and so forth, and the new. Maybe Luke Harper, a new Chris Jericho, a new Kevin Owens, that sort of stuff, like a lot of people do. However, would lose core slots, that's the only problem. And on a universe mode like ours, which is so heavily based on picking wrestlers from around the world, I think losing those core slots is going to be quite a, not necessarily a problem for us, but it's going to be a little bit more awkward for us. But there is 1 or 2 that I am thinking of doing soon. And I think that I think there's one for definite that I really want to do, and I think it needs to be done because it sort of gives a new look and a new personality to someone in the game. So that will happen sooner or later. So I don't know. It's a bit tricky. I might have to go back to standard Neville soon though, because I've got Angry Neville currently taking up a core slot, and there's really not that much of a difference, is there really? I don't know. But The Rock, big victory last week, like I said, against Hulk Hogan. Now here he is this week, trying to build upon that momentum with a match here against Seth Rollins as well. Eyebrow. There it is. I wonder if we'll see The Rock again this WrestleMania. He's had a couple off now, hasn't he? So makes you wonder if he might come back and just try and have another match. Whether, yeah, whether we can get that next WrestleMania match. It was always linked with Brock Lesnar, wasn't he? But I don't know if that would... It'd probably be a decent match. Be a lot better than Lesnar versus Goldberg. Lesnar versus Goldberg wasn't too bad at Mania. That they sort of played to their strengths. It was fast, it was action-packed, it was full of finishers, but it still wasn't a WrestleMania match for me. And I'm so glad it didn't main event, because that would have been a disgrace in my opinion. The thing that made me laugh about WrestleMania was the fact that the SmackDown Live Women's Championship 6 women, whatever match it was going to be, 6-way brawl, whatever it was supposed to be, actually ended up going from the pre-show to being one from the main event, which I thought was quite comical. And of course, this is no disqualification, of course, because it is Falls Count Anywhere, so no DQ, no count out, no rope breaks as well, which is going to be good. I don't know if I just like switch rope breaks off on this game, because it does frustrate me a bit. I could do, you know. Would that annoy you guys if I turn rope breaks off? I might just give it a try, because it would make things a lot better for us, because at the moment I'm getting a bit frustrated with, of course, like the Undertaker's finisher in the first match of the night. I don't even know if you can do it, to be honest. Yeah, I bet you probably can somehow, can't you? Can you do it? I'm going to Google it while we're recording this. WWE 2K17 turn off rope break. Can you do it from the all these posts are from 2015. What's the point in that? I'll have to have a look. I'll have to go into the settings and see if you can change it, because I don't know if it will depend on match type maybe, or whether it is down to you can switch it off completely in the settings. As a pedigree there by Seth Rollins on The Rock pretty early on in this match. That could be a massive victory if Rollins can pull this one off. There's a rolling the Rock over. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh no, The Rock does kick out. We will look at changing Seth Rollins' finisher maneuver soon, of course. It looks like he's switched now to a variation of... I say variation of... the exact same as Kenny Omega's knee. Of course, I don't think that's Kenny Omega's finish maneuver, but it's one of his signatures. I think Kenny Omega actually got that move. Obviously, that move is a variation of Okada's Rainmaker clothesline, isn't it? Rocky. I wonder what they're chanting then. It's Rocky they're chanting. Rock now bringing Seth Rollins back up to his feet. There's the shoulder block by Seth. Stamping on the face of The Rock now as well. Rock pile driving. It's not pile driving, just slamming Seth Rollins down. You see the referee's out there now because, like I said, it is no DQ. It is Falls Count Anywhere. So referee will follow them, which is a good thing because he never used to do that, referee. The referee used to stay in the ring. And that was frustrating because he used to have to slide out the ring to count a pin and he slide back in afterwards. Which was always just it was just a bit weird how it was all done. Ooh, are we going fun times here in this one? They're getting close to that barricade and The Rock is taking Seth Rollins there. Oh, Rock! Oh my God, he speared him through it. I weren't expecting that. I thought he was going to clothesline him over the top, but The Rock spearing Seth Rollins through that barricade. That poor lady in the front row just had both her legs broken by that barricade. The Rock now goes to the pin on Seth. Referee slow getting there. 1, 2. How on earth has Seth Rollins kicked out of that? He's just been speared through the barricade. And that would have cost Rock a finisher maneuver, I believe. But he's still there into a DDT on the matting. That matting is only about an inch thick on the outside. It's not very thick at all. Does not offer a lot of protection. So Seth's head would have hit the concrete pretty hard there. Every time Seth tries to get any aggression, The Rock just seems to have an answer. Rock now running bulldog on Seth. And just stomping on the grounded Rollins. Now there's an elbow to the back as well. Oh, The Rock is lining Seth Rollins up. Here it is, the rock bottom. The Rock with a rock bottom on Seth Rollins. There's the pin. 1, 2... And no, Seth kicked out again. I still don't understand how they keep doing this, you know. Strongest possible finisher maneuvers. Speared through the barricade and rock bottom. It still continues on. Rock now launching Seth over the top again. Landing back first onto that sponge material. As I said, barely any protection there at all. It is very much just to take the edge off, but not necessarily do a lot of, oh my god, baseball bat across the gut. Now there's no protection from that. But Seth is straight back up now, sending The Rock into the ring. See, this is how all Falls Count Anywhere matches seem to end now. Or Extreme Rules matches. They go all the way around the arena, but they always end inside the ring. Suplex there by Seth, rolls straight into the pin. It's only enough for a 2 count. And this match has been very back and forth. The Rock has been hit by a pedigree, but Seth has been rock bottomed on the outside and been speared through the barricade. But is Seth looking once again for another pedigree? He is. Pedigree by Seth. He's got to go for the pin now, surely. He does roll The Rock over. Is this going to be enough? 1, 2, and no, I didn't think it was going to be, you know. I had a feeling that was not going to be enough. I don't know why. I just thought, wow. Is Seth going to go up top? No, he's going to go for a springboard by the looks of it. I thought maybe looking for a Phoenix Splash. Seth completely misses the flying knee. I have no idea what's going on there. Both guys are just sort of dazed and confused there for a split second. Seth now taking The Rock up onto that top turnbuckle. Has he got planned here, Seth? Oh, I think he likes to go for that super Falcon Arrow, doesn't he? No, he goes for the superplex, but rolls it straight through. Oh, into a Falcon Arrow. The strength involved in that now. Hooking the leg of The Rock in a very uncomfortable looking position. But again, only enough for a 2 count. That could have been a submission the way his leg was bent back like that. And here we go. Now Seth does go up top. Like I say, he likes to utilise the Phoenix Splash. And there it is. Phoenix Splash on The Rock, but doesn't go for the pin. And Rock straight back up, but Seth straight back up as well, sending The Rock into the corner. Running drop kick in the back. And Seth, you can see, struggling now as well. The damage he's taken in this match is catching up with him. And he needs a breather. But he needs to act on what he's done to The Rock pretty quickly here. Rock back up. Catching Seth, snap suplex on to the chair, straight into the pin. 2. See, The Rock not really putting a lot of his weight on the chest of Seth Rollins there. Holding the arms down, but he was very much elevated in that pin. And that wasn't enough really to keep Seth down. Seth now rolling The Rock through. Super kick to the face of The Rock. And I think he's been busted open. You can see him there looking at his hand. And Seth, instead of going for the pin or looking to capitalise, he's up on the middle rope taunting the crowd. Maybe not the wisest idea, though. But it looks like we could be seeing the trifecta of pedigrees here. Hook in the arms. There it is, the pedigree. And the pin. And surely this time this is going to be enough. 1, 2... And I just don't understand. I really don't. Like I said, it's on strongest possible finishing power. I would hate to see what's happened if this is on the weakest possible finishing power. Like, the game would never end, would it? I just can't understand it. I really can't. I'm going to have to double check my my options, aren't I? There's a rock bottom. And is The Rock going to pull this one out the bag now? There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And The Rock does get a victory. My God, what a match this was between these two. The Rock looks worse for wear, but he does get the freak out win. Busted open. He speared Seth Rollins through the barricade. He rock bottomed him on the outside. He rock bottomed him inside the ring. And of course Seth Rollins with 3 pedigrees on The Rock as well inside the ring. It was a brutal match between these two. But The Rock does finally come out on top in what again was a very good match. They've all been very good matches tonight actually. I'm pretty impressed and happy the way that things have gone. But we still have one more match for you here this evening. Our main event of course, and that is coming up right now. And here is that main event. It is going to be Cody Rhodes with Bullet Club members Kenny Omega and Adam Cole at ringside, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, of course, the former 2-time United States champion. And here we go. Main event time. And here comes, of course... Oh, it seems to be Kenny Omega who's taking the front here. Where's Adam Cole in all this, though? Not quite sure, but there you go. Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes are there. Adam Cole... The game is very, very glitchy when it comes to stable entrances. I don't know why. I don't know why it is a little bit funny. Let's see, it just said Bullet Club, didn't it? So, I'm sure Adam Cole must be there somewhere. He is scheduled to be ringside for this match. Of course, it is Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know where Adam Cole is. It is Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Last week we saw Kenny Omega versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And it was a massive win, I do believe. But if I remember correctly, it was a good win for Shinsuke. Wasn't it a case of... It was really good, wasn't it, the ending? I remember the ending being fantastic. Didn't, I'm just watching it back now. Yeah, that was it, yeah. Kenny Omega took Shinsuke Nakamura up into what looked like was going to be the One-Wing Angel. Nakamura fought free, dropped out the back, and as Omega turned around, Nakamura caught him with a Kinshasa and picked up the victory. It was a stunning finish to the match, it really was. Hey, that's me. That's my Shinsuke Nakamura entrance. You may have noticed, if you do keep up with the blog, you may have noticed that I've been changing quite a lot of it around recently. We are going to be doing something very different soon, so that's the reason why a lot of it's been changing up. Like I said, it's going to happen after the next pay-per-view, so keep an eye out for that. But we'll start using the blog again a bit better. I've got some better ideas for how... Like I said, after this next pay-per-view, we would have been going for 3 months, and we'll have a bit more of an idea of how things are working, what things are working, what things aren't working, what we can change. So I'm sort of trying to get ready for that now. So yeah, just bear with us. And like I say, the blogger page now, I've not been keeping track of results on there. Literally, we just have a up-to-date version of each of the rosters on there, and up-to-date champions as well. So if you want to go and check that out, there is a link in the description for that. But like I said, as time goes forward, we'll start to use that a bit better. And I've already started doing it all, but it's all hidden away in drafts, so you can't see any of it. Because I didn't realise how long it was going to take me to do it all, to be honest with you. But once it's up and running, it is going to look fantastic, I think. It's going to be spot on. So Nakamura versus Cody Rhodes, a match that I would love to see. But it looks like we're not going to, of course, as Nakamura joined WWE as Cody Rhodes left, more or less. It's a shame, because I heard recently, right, that, what was it? It was... was it an old writer who's left the WWE? And he's been giving out some ideas of certain certain storylines that were rejected. And one of them was for... Now, it might have been Cody Rhodes actually give this out. Cody Rhodes said that it was planned for the draft, because he knew about the draft, Cody Rhodes, before he left. Which surprised me, because I thought if he knew about the draft, he would have stayed around. But he said he knew about the draft, and the plan was to have Stardust on one show and have Cody Rhodes on the other. And for me, just why? Just why not? Why not just leave it? Why not just have Cody Rhodes as Cody Rhodes? Why have you got to mess around and give him some sort of dodgy gimmick? And the idea was also having having Cody Rhodes and I've forgotten her name now. His wife, whatever her name is, be the new Goldust, and I've forgotten what her name was as well. The scary-looking woman. And again, why just... You've got a really talented wrestler here with great heritage. Why mess around with stupid Stardust gimmicks and stuff like that? Just let him be who he is. Look how good he is now on the indie scene. He's a fantastic heel. He's one of the top members of Bullet Club. He's spot on. So why did WWE decide they needed to mess around with him? I can understand with some people who aren't very strong, you need to give them a gimmick, something to make them a little bit different. But Cody Rhodes had the ability. Disaster kick there. Straight to the face of Nakamura. And this could be a short match, this one. Cody dominating, and Adam Cole is at ringside. There he is. Knocking around there. Nakamura now tripping Cody over. Now bringing Cody back up to his feet as well. Cody fighting back, though. There's a shoulder block. Taking Nakamura down. Cody bringing Nakamura back up to his feet. Into a vertical suplex. Nakamura now over the top. Just stomping on the arm of Cody Rhodes as well, dropping a knee into the back. Stomping the back as well. And now Nakamura is taking control of this match. Like I said last week, he got the win over Kenny Omega. And now looking for a win again here against Cody Rhodes. But what sort of impact is Adam Cole and Kenny Omega going to have at ringside? That's the interesting one. Of course, we know what Bullet Club are like for interfering in matches. However, Cody Rhodes might want to be able to show the world exactly what he can do here. And he might have asked both of these guys to not get involved. But then again, will they listen? That's a question as well. Cody dropping a knee right into the centre of the back of Nakamura. And again, another knee. Cody now bringing Nakamura back up to his feet. Nakamura catches him, shoulder block. And now wrenching back at the arm of Cody Rhodes. Cody now fighting his way back up to his feet. Big punch to the gut of Nakamura. What are you looking like time-wise? It's amazing, isn't it, how 5 matches always seem to last roughly the same sort of time, doesn't it, really? Always between 50 minutes and an hour. Well, saying that, this match hasn't finished yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. As Nakamura now taken... Whoa, what's Nakamura going for here? What is he going for? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm not even sure how to even describe that. It was like a super Michinoko drive. It's a bit along them sort of lines, but either way, it doesn't seem to affect Cody Rhodes, who's straight back up. Like I said, I think I still think the reversal system could do with some work. I think it needs to be made a little bit less easy to reverse when you've taken big maneuvers. Now Cody with a powerbomb, it's only enough for a 2 count, then rolls it straight into the Boston Crab. And I thought Nakamura was going to tap out then, but he hadn't. He grabbed the hold of the leg of Cody Rhodes and fought free, but Nakamura still down, struggling with energy now. Nakamura playing possum there, catching Cody Rhodes in the face with a boot, but Cody Rhodes coming back with the strikes of his own. But there's one thing Cody does not want to do, it's get into a striking contest with Shinsuke Nakamura, because that is a contest he's bound to lose. German suplex on Nakamura. Nakamura once again fighting free. There's an arm breaker on Cody Rhodes. Cody with a back elbow. Right hand to the gut of Nakamura. Taking Nakamura up, dropping him face first onto the mat. Stomping on the back of the head. Cody raking his foot across the face of Nakamura as well. dropping an elbow. Nakamura's back up into the front chancery. Knee to the face of Cody Rhodes and a boot to the side of the head. Remember, this is how Nakamura got the win last week, was just that cheeky little reversal out of a finisher maneuver into the Kinshasa. He can pull that maneuver out of anywhere. Nakamura up onto the middle rope. Is he going to go for a diving knee, which we've seen him use before in New Japan? It is, yes. Jumping knee strike for the middle rope. And here is Adam Cole now distracting Nakamura. Like I said, very much the interfering type, these Bullet Club guys. You saw, though, Adam Cole did not physically interrupt Shinsuke Nakamura, so it can't be classed as a disqualification. But the referee will have ultimate control over that, of course. If the referee decides that these guys at ringside are causing too much of a distraction, then he can't ask them to leave the ring. Great over-the-top cutter there by Cody Rhodes from the top rope. Now grabbing Nakamura middle of the ring, booting in the back as well. That looked a bit low, that kick, to me. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh my god, that was close to a 3. I would not expecting that at all. And Nakamura has really struggled to get back in this since Adam Cole distracted him. Cody Rhodes. I don't know what that move's called. I've completely forgotten. I know it's his finish move, but I completely forgot what it's called. And Nakamura kicked out, though. Nakamura has kicked out. Interesting. Right hand to the gut of Cody Rhodes. Now into pin once again. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. You know what? I've been impressed with the quality of matches this evening. I know I've moaned about rope breaks and too many finishes, but I don't think the matches have gone too long. I think they've actually gone quite nice a distance. And I'm pretty happy, actually. Knee to the face there by Cody Rhodes on Nakamura. The blood pouring from Nakamura's head as Cody catches him from behind into a backdrop, folding Nakamura in half. And now Cody in full control of this match. Stamping on the back of Nakamura, and once again just a kick in the back. Maybe looking for that powerbomb Boston Crab combo we saw earlier on again. Nakamura, they're rolling Cody Rhodes up. Nakamura once again up on the middle rope. Is he looking for another jumping knee strike? He is, and he hits it again. Cody Rhodes hit so hard he actually backflipped backwards. And now Nakamura lining up Cody. Boot into the midriff, and there's a Kinshasa. The move that won in the match last week. 1, 2. And Nakamura wins the match here as well against Cody Rhodes. Nakamura's knocked off 2 members of Bullet Club now in 2 weeks. That's big. That is big for Nakamura. Personally taking Bullet Club down 2 weeks in a row. And what a way to end our episode of Throwdown. So, of course, like I said, that is all. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. It also makes the video easier for other people to find. Helps the channel grow and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in a couple of days' time for some more SWE and our next episode of Octane. Bye.